Bonjour! In this video, we're going to look at adjectives, les adjectifs, in French. Are you ready? Vous êtes prêts?
Je suis gentil et heureux.
In French, adjectives have to agree in number and gender with the noun that they describe. What that means is that if the noun is plural, you'll also have to add an S to the adjective. If a noun is feminine, you'll want to add an E to the adjective to make it feminine. However, there are some exceptions. There are adjectives that already end in E and therefore do not need to be changed from masculine to feminine. And there are some irregular adjectives that we will be looking at in this video. But let's go ahead and get started with the regular ones. Les adjectifs. Are you ready? Vous êtes prêts? Great. Il est blond. Blond. Elle est blonde. Blonde. Did you notice that? Blond? Blonde. In French, the consonants at the end of words are usually going to be silent. However, when the word then ends with a vowel, it makes us pronounce that silent consonant. Therefore, blond, the ON makes the on sound and we do not pronounce the D. But when we add the E, we do have to pronounce it blonde. Il est blond, elle est blonde. Great, let's look at some more examples. Il est amusant, elle est amusante. Il est amusant, elle est amusante. Great, we pronounced the T. Did you hear that? Here we have two adjectives. Il est petit and il est grand. Now, grand is referring to height. It is not referring to weight, which we would use a different adjective for. Il est petit, il est grand. Can you guess what the feminine version will sound like? Elle est petite, elle est grande. Petit, petite. Grand, grande. Good. Il est brun. Elle est brune. Il est brun. Elle est brune. Il est patient. Elle est patiente. Patient. Patiente. Il est content. Elle est contente. Content. Contente. Il est intelligent. Elle est intelligente. Intelligent. Intelligente.
Je suis sympathique et amusante, mais je ne suis pas grande.
Le livre est intéressant. La classe de français est intéressante. Did you see that? The book is masculine and the class is feminine. That's because when we talk about masculine and feminine in French, we are not talking about gender identity, or at least not necessarily. We just assign all nouns in French to either the masculine or the feminine category. So it's really important that when you're learning your nouns, you learn if it's masculine or feminine, and you can learn this by memorizing the article along with the noun. So, le livre, la classe. Okay?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Raouf, je suis intelligent et je ne suis pas égoïste et cruel.
Il est désorganisé. Elle est désorganisée. Did you notice that there's no change in pronunciation? That's because the word doesn't end in a consonant. Il est joli. Elle est jolie. Il est sociable. Elle n'est pas sociable. With adjectives that end in E, we don't have to change them from masculine to feminine. Il est dynamique, elle est dynamique. Dynamique. Il est enthousiaste, elle est enthousiaste. Il est sympathique, elle est sympathique. Sympathique. Often, in French, we'll say sympa. So sympa means kind, but it's not just nice, it also means pleasant. Sort of nice to be around is how I would define sympa or sympathique. Il est mince, elle est mince. Now we're referring to weight. Remember, how did we say someone is short? Il est petit or elle est petite. Il est populaire, elle est populaire. No change there either. Le chien est calme. Calme. Il est égoïste. Elle est égoïste. The accent tréma tells us to pronounce the O and the I separately, because otherwise O and I blends to make a wa sound. But here we hear the O and the I. Il est égoïste. Il est bête. Elle est bête. We can use this to say dumb, but it's usually meant in a more loving way. So kind of like, oh, you're silly or foolish.
Bonjour, je suis un jeune homme marocain. Je suis dynamique et sociable. Et je ne suis pas égoïste. Okay,
now we're going to look at a group of irregular adjectives, the e's. In other words, the masculine version ends in EUX, but the feminine version ends in EUSE. And the pronunciation is quite different, so make sure to listen. Il est heureux. Elle est heureuse. Wait a second, we've seen this little guy before. Yeah, that's right, because we can also say content or contente. Heureux, heureuse. They mean happy. Le film est ennuyeux. La classe est ennuyeuse. Ennuyeux. Ennuyeuse, meaning boring. Elle est généreuse. Il est généreux. Il est joyeux. Elle est joyeuse. Il est sérieux. Elle est sérieuse.
Je suis calme et créatif et je ne suis pas quelqu'un de sérieux.
Okay, now we're going to look at a second group of irregular adjectives. For adjectives that end in L, you have to double the L before adding an E. And let's listen to see if we can hear any difference in pronunciation. Il est gentil. Elle est gentille. It's almost like we just pronounce the end a little longer for that one. Wait a second, we've seen these pictures. That's right, il est sympathique, elle est sympathique, which I told you guys means pleasant or fun to be around. Gentil is the literal translation of nice or kind. Il est gentil, elle est gentille. Il est intellectuel, elle est intellectuelle. No pronunciation change. Il est cruel, elle est cruelle. Again, no pronunciation change. Cruel, cruel. Le film est nul. La classe est nulle. This is how we say lame in French. So if we want to say we really don't like something or it's totally lame, c'est nul. It's lame.
Je m'appelle Jordan et pour parler de ma personnalité aujourd'hui, je suis intelligent, je suis calme, je suis créatif et je suis gentil. Merci.
Okay, let's look at a third group of irregular adjectives. Adjectives that end in F will end in VE to become feminine. Il est créatif, elle est créative. Créatif, créative. Il est sportif, elle est sportive. Sportif, sportive.
Comment est ma personnalité? Eh bien, je suis patiente, je suis sympathique et je suis sportive. En 3 mots. Au revoir.
Okay, as if that wasn't enough, I have a group of completely irregular adjectives. That means they're not going to follow in a predictable pattern, and we just need to memorize them. Are you ready? There's only a few. So we have il est beau, meaning handsome, or elle est belle, meaning beautiful. Beau, belle. Le poulet est bon, meaning it's good. La pizza est bonne. Bon, bonne. Le chien est mignon. L'abeille est mignonne. Mignon, mignonne. Okay, great, that was it. So what I want you guys to do now is practice. I recommend you grab a photo of your family, maybe a celebrity that you like, and you describe them. Il est or elle est. See how many adjectives you can use. Au revoir, à plus, et à la prochaine. And please subscribe. It helps me a lot. Merci. Who needs to vacuum their garage? Like, really?